the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
6 former rebels surrendered to 89th IB in Valencia City. Westmincom launches Reserve Force Joint Training Exercise 2025. BBM puts EDSA rehab on hold. MMDA suspends odd-even scheme after EDSA rebuild cancellation.
Hello to everyone, especially our troops at Camp Emilia Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Monday, June 2, and this is AFP Community News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rofh Suzon-Abay, here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, 6 former members of the Communist Terrorist Group surrendered to the 89th Infantry Battalion at Mount Anhawon, Barangay Banlag, Valencia City, Bukidnon, bringing with them firearms and vital intelligence. The surrenderers, known by aliases Nokins, Buds, Liza, Bo, Jaguar, and Burgos, were inactive members of the dismantled guerrilla Front 6. They turned over a carbine rifle, multiple handguns, and revealed the location of a hidden cache of 5.56 mm ammunition, which authorities later recovered. Valencia City's local government under Mayor Azucena Huervas provided 5,000 pesos in immediate cash aid to each surrenderer. Brigadier General Marion Angkao of the 1003rd Infantry Brigade praised the 89th IB local officials for fostering peace.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Western Mindanao Command officially launched the Reserve Force Joint Training Exercise at Camp Navarro, Calaran, Zamboanga City, kicking off a 3-day intensive training to strengthen the skills and interoperability of AFP reservists. The exercise, which runs until June 1, focuses on enhancing reservist capabilities in humanitarian assistance and disaster response, contingency planning, and war-fighting operations. Activities include practical drills, lectures, and strategy discussions aimed at integrating reserve forces with regular units in joint operations. Captain Edwin Elo, the Westmincom's ACUX for Service and Retiree Affairs, emphasized the value of unified training in strengthening mission readiness.
Armed Forces Radio.
From NOLCOM, let us hear some information from Joanne about NOLCOM strengthens naval partnership in strategic engagement.
In a move to bolster joint operational synergy, Lieutenant General Fernil Gibuca, Philippine Air Force, the commander of the Northern Luzon Command, paid a strategic visit to the Philippine Navy headquarters at Naval Station Jose Andrada, Rojas Boulevard, Manila on May 30, 2025. Vice Admiral Jose Ma Ambrosio Q. Espeleta, Philippine Navy, flag officer in command of the Philippine Navy, warmly received Lieutenant General Buca with full arrival honors, joined by senior Navy leadership. The visit centered on key discussions involving ongoing operations, capability enhancement, and inter-service collaboration. Lieutenant General Buca underscored the importance of integrated joint force operations in securing the nation's maritime interests, particularly within NOLCOM's joint operational area. Vice Admiral Espeleta affirmed the Philippine Navy's commitment to strengthening joint readiness and sustaining maritime cooperation. This engagement reaffirms NOLCOM's trust as a jointly engaged, sustainment, maintain, and readiness-trained force dedicated to safeguarding the country's strategic northern frontier. This is Joan Sagaok reporting from Northern Luzon Command for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne from NOLCOM.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The 7th Infantry Battalion joined the Grand Launching and General Assembly of the Indigenous Peoples Lifesavers Association at the Municipal Gym in Jose Abad Santos, Davao Occidental. The event, led by Speed Media Mindanao Regional Director Marlon Gayod, brought together the Philippine National Police, the Municipal Health Office, and local officials to promote pro-government advocacy and peace building among indigenous peoples. The 73rd IB reaffirmed its commitment to sustainable peace. They also called on IB communities to unite in protecting their rights and securing their future through collaboration and solidarity.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Military Academy officially welcomed 340 new cadets into the rank of the Cadet Corps, Armed Forces of the Philippines, during their reception rites for PMA Class of 2029 at Borromeo Field, Baguio City. The new class, composed of 274 males and 66 females from across the country, was selected from over 37,000 applicants through a rigorous selection and screening process. PMA Superintendent Vice Admiral Cesar Bernard Valencia reminded the cadets of their new responsibilities. The cadets, now holding the rank of 4th class cadets, will undergo 3 months of basic cadet and military training before beginning their academic journey under a newly enhanced curriculum focused on security studies and modern warfare.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more from Joy of First Year G about 5th ID deploys 24 officers and 137 privates in send-off ceremony.
Yes, Rofh, a send-off ceremony was held at the 5th Infantry Division Covered Court for 24 newly second lieutenants and 137 newly enlisted privates. The activity marked the official deployment of the new members of the Star Division as they begin their journey in the military profession. Major General Gulliver L. Señeres, Philippine Army, commander of the 5th Infantry Division, served as the keynote speaker, represented by Colonel Camilo A. Sadam, Assistant Division Commander for Service and Retiree Affairs. In his message, he stressed the importance of everyone's job and their assigned places. He said there will be challenges, but they should always remember why they chose to wear the uniform. The new officers and privates will be assigned to various line units under the 5th Infantry Division's area of responsibility. The ceremony was witnessed by officers, enlisted personnel, and civilian employees of the division. The 5th Infantry Division remains committed to developing capable and reliable soldiers who will uphold its core values of malasakit, disiplina, at galing. This is Meldry Nasho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News. One AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Maljoy of First Year G.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Philippine Navy spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, dismissed China's claim that it conducted combat patrols around Scarborough Shoal, calling it a propaganda effort. China's Southern Theater Navy had earlier announced increased surveillance and patrols near the contested area, but he said the Philippine monitoring showed no signs of Chinese naval activity within the country's exclusive economic zone. Rear Admiral Trinidad also confirmed that only 2 China Coast Guard ships, 6 maritime militia vessels, and several foreign fishing boats were present in the area as of Saturday, none from the Chinese Navy. Relatedly, he reaffirmed the Philippine Navy's commitment in defending the national waters.
DWDD National News.
And now for our national news, President Fray Marcos Jr. suspended the rehabilitation of EDSA amid concerns from different sectors. Marcos said some of the feedback includes longer commuting and driving time because of the expected massive traffic jam. He further explained that although it would be great to fix it, the sacrifice and the traffic would be too heavy and too tight, so he decided to pause it for a month. Preparatory activities for EDSA's rehabilitation were supposed to start on June 13, with completion targeted for 2027.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Jai about 15th IEB joint signing of marketing agreement and kamustahan session in Bacolod City.
Yes, Rofh, the 15th Infantry Malawi Warrior Battalion joined the Department of Agrarian Reform in the signing of marketing agreements held at Sugarland Hotel in Bacolod City. The DAR, through its Partnership Against Hunger and Poverty program, facilitated the said signing along with the Agrarian Reform beneficiary organizations, district jails under the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, and the 15th IB. The 15th IB actively supports this effort through community-based engagement initiatives that strengthen food security and stimulate rural economic growth. Meanwhile, through the said efforts, DAR and 15th IB promote inclusive development and address the root causes of insurgency, in line with the goals of the National Task Force to end local communist armed conflict. This is Jai reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jai.
DWDD National News.
Moreover, the Metro Multant Manila Development Authority announced that it will be scrapping the implementation of the odd-even scheme in EDSA. This follows the decision of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to postpone the rehabilitation for a month. MMDA Chairperson Donarte said they will stick with the current number coding scheme. Artists explained that the imposition of the odd-even scheme was part of the traffic management plan that was laid down intended to decongest EDSA before the looming rebuild. The MMDA chief said they welcomed the president's decision as it would lead to proper authorities finding better ways to ease the burden of the commuting public.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Public Works and Highways has made an urgent call for a whole-of-government approach in implementing the administration's projects. DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan underscored the need to fast-track infrastructure development under the administration's Build Better, More program. Bonoan said this is not the time to slow down but a time to double down on their mission. The DPWH chief made the statement before a crowd of district engineers, assistant district engineers, and public works officials at the mid-year National Convention of the District Engineers League of the Philippines. Bonoan then lauded the DOP's unwavering commitment, describing it as a quiet but powerful force shaping the nation's future.
Armed Forces Radio.
From Solcom, let us hear from Jess about 31st IB strengthens anti-terrorism campaign in Manito, Albay.
Yes, good afternoon. The 31st Infantry Charge Battalion Philippine Army intensified its anti-terrorism efforts through an information awareness campaign held in Barangay Balasbas, Manito, Albay. The activity aimed to broaden residents' awareness of the deceptive ideology of the CPP, NPA, NDF, encourage them to support peace-building efforts in their community, and reinforce trust and collaboration between the government and the people to combat terrorism and prevent the continued recruitment of youth and students by the said group. A key highlight of the activity was the signing of the Persona non grata declaration, followed by the burning of the CPP-NPA-NDF flag, symbolizing the residents' unified stance against the presence influence of armed group in the area. Meanwhile, the leadership of 31st IB assured continued support for initiatives aimed at preserving peace and order in the locality. They also encouraged residents to actively cooperate with authorities to achieve peaceful, secure, and progressive community and future. This is Jess from Solcom reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Jess from Solcom.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And now for our announcement, celebrate the freedom through the power of music. Everyone is invited to Musikalayaan 2025 at Open Air Auditorium Rizal Park on Thursday, June 5. Enjoy a night of inspiring performances from different bunches of uniformed personnel and invited guests and artists. Admission is absolutely free. See you and don't miss it.
DWDD National News.
And for other national news, the Commission on Appointments is set to hear 360 appointments before the 19th Congress adjourns next week. Congress will resume the session today after a 4-month break. Surigao del Sur's 2nd District Representative Johnny Pimentel said that Senate President Francis Escudero wants all pending appointments processed before Congress adjourns on June 13. A presidential appointee would need to be reappointed and be vetted by CA at the 20th Congress if the appointee has not been confirmed by the CA when the 19th Congress adjourns. Facing the Commission on Tuesday are Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon, Information Communications Technology Secretary Henry Aguda, and Presidential Communications Office Secretary Jay Ruiz.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development has issued a circular that calls for the speedy and efficient disposition of buyers' complaints against developers. DHSUD Secretary Jose Ramon Aliling came out with a circular that would provide for the expeditious handling and disposition of buyers' complaints against developers of subdivisions and condominium projects. Aliling said home buyers and other real estate clients encountering problems deserve better from DHSUD. He also emphasized that it is important that they ensure swift resolution to the complaints presented before the agency.
Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from BEA. BRP Alberto Navarrete, PC 394, conducts change of command ceremony.
The BRP Alberto Navarrete PC 394 conducted a change of command ceremony held at Macabalan Wharf, Macabalan, Cagayan de Oro City. Outgoing commanding officer Lieutenant Commander James B. Dinglasan, Jr., Philippine Navy, formally handed over his duties and responsibilities to Lieutenant Commander James Adriano D. Balawis, Philippine Navy, in an acting capacity. The said ceremony was presided by the Commander of Naval Task Force 71, Captain Junji B. Tabuada, Philippine Navy MNSA, who expressed gratitude to the outgoing commanding officer for his service rendered, not only to the Philippine Navy but also in the Armed Forces of the Philippines in general. Meanwhile, a change of command ceremony is a military tradition that represents a formal transfer of authority and responsibility for a unit from one commander to another. This Beatrice reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, BEA.
DWDD National News.
Cagayan de Oro City's 2nd District Representative Rufus Rodriguez filed House Bill number 11506, or ON Act penalizing the malicious and deliberate dissemination of false information that undermines public order and national security, strengthening regulations on fake news through digital platforms, and for other purposes. The bill has sought to impose jail time plus a fine of up to 2 million pesos against those who spread fake news. Under the bill, fake news refers to false or misleading information presented as facts or news, deliberately and maliciously disseminated to mislead the public, that may sow confusion, incite hatred or violence, or disrupt public order. Meanwhile, it defines this information as false information intentionally spread to deceive, manipulate, or influence public perception, behavior, or policy.
DWDD National News.
Health Secretary Ted Herboso warned that vaping is more dangerous than smoking traditional cigarettes. He made the statement as more young Filipinos become addicted to high-nicotine vape products under the false belief that they are safer. Herboso said it has higher nicotine content and it's addicting young people to vape. The DOH chief also pointed out that unlike traditional tobacco, vape liquids come in colorful packaging and fruit flavors designed to appeal to minors.
Armed Forces Radio.
Some information from Gio about Japanese ambassador to the Philippines joins 30th anniversary celebration of AFP GHQ and HSC.
Japanese ambassador to the Philippines Endo Kazuya joined the 30th anniversary celebration of the Armed Forces of the Philippines General Headquarters and the Headquarters Service Command held at Camp General Emilio Aguinaldo. The celebration, with the team building a solid foundation for a world-class Camp Aguinaldo through innovation, transformation, and excellence, honored the 38 years since Camp Aguinaldo officially became the AFP's General Headquarters in 1987. Ambassador Endo's presence emphasized the deepening partnership between Japan and the Philippines, especially in areas of defense cooperation and strategic infrastructure. Meanwhile, the Japanese ambassador to the Philippines reaffirmed Japan's commitment to support the Philippines in advancing peace, stability, and inclusive development. This is Gio reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gio.
Armed Forces Radio.
Another report on the ground. Let us hear the report of Mon about students of NSCMS Operators Score CLCO 6-24 completes training aboard BRP Jose Rizal.
Students of the Naval Shield Combat Management System Operators Course Class 06-24 successfully completed their training aboard BRP Jose Rizal. The course is a specialized training program that focuses on operating and managing an advanced combat management system. The course aims to enhance the Philippine Navy's capabilities on tactical operations, surveillance, and engagement protocols. Meanwhile, graduates of NSCMS Operators Course play an important role in ensuring the effective operation and boosting of installed onboard combat management systems, contributing to the Philippines' maritime defense and security. This is Mon reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Mon.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, the Philippine Anti-Red Tape Authority has launched the Philippine Ease of Doing Business Reform Guidebook, designed primarily to improve the country's global competitiveness. ARTA Head Secretary Ernesto Perez said that the guidebook is expected to boost the Philippines' standing in key competitiveness indices. The reform guidebook outlines priority reforms and provide an implementation roadmap to ensure alignment with the ease of doing business agenda. It would also serve as a key reference document for policymakers, government agencies, and industry stakeholders in enhancing the country's business climate, the ARTA chief said.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Migrant Workers said that the agency will hold a week-long celebration from June 2 to 7 to observe Migrant Workers Day and honor overseas Filipino workers around the world. Migrant Workers Secretary Hans Leo Kakdak said that as they celebrate the strength and resilience of the modern-day heroes, they will continue to adhere to a rights-based approach of ensuring the utmost protection and empowerment of our OFWs. DMW mentioned that the momentous celebration reaffirms the promotion of the rights and welfare of OFWs from pre-migration during their employment overseas to reintegration. Kakdak emphasized that under the guidance of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the agency would tirelessly work toward creating an environment where every Filipino worker is valued, respected, and given opportunities for growth and development.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other hand, let us hear more from Leonor about Sealift Amphibious Force turns over newly refurbished classroom to a Gusuhi ES Annex.
Officers, men and women of Sealift Amphibious Force formally turned over the newly refurbished classroom to the stakeholders in ceremony held at Agusuhon Elementary School Annex, Barangay Kawag Subic, Zambales. The turnover was attended by the teachers, parents, and students as the recipients of the event, along with the Sealift Amphibious Forces officers and enlisted personnel. The activity was part of the Adopt a School Room Brigada Escuela program that aimed to extend the organization's legacy of service beyond the seas and into the hearts of the community. Meanwhile, the initiative was in line with the 79th SAF founding anniversary. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for FP Community News, 1FP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
Armed Forces Radio.
From Palawan, more updates from June about Mission from the Heart Year 2 brings hope, healing, and unity to Southern Palawan.
Hundreds of residents in southern Palawan benefited from Mission from the Heart Year 2, a two-day humanitarian outreach successfully held on May 30 to 31, 2025 in Barangay Ransang, Rizal. The initiative was spearheaded by Lionheart Farms and the Gabay Kalinga Foundation in partnership with the Western Command of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. The event began with an opening program attended by stakeholders, local leaders, and partner organizations. In his welcome message, Mr. Christian Moeller, CEO of Lionheart Farms, emphasized the mission's deeper purpose to educate, elevate, and engage, highlighting how building community and partnerships leads to a meaningful and purposeful life. Ms. Shaina Magdayaw, trustee of the Gabay Kalinga Foundation, expressed gratitude to the community and partners, sharing the true purpose begins when life is used for the greater good. Representing the AFP, Vice Admiral Alfonso F. Torres Jr., Commander of Westcom, reaffirmed the military's dedication to nation building through health and civic engagement. Throughout the 2 days, residents from 8 barangays accessed essential services. To foster a joyful and engaging environment, MBLT-7 and Westcom U7 facilitated games for children and adults, while a kids' corner offered storytelling, reading, coloring, and feeding activities, ensuring a nurturing space for young beneficiaries. In her closing message, Ms. Maria Cecilia Chang Moeller expressed heartfelt thanks to the AFP and all mission partners. The successful conclusion of Mission from the Heart Year 2 marks another meaningful step in shared commitment to bringing essential services and support to communities in need. And that's the latest update. This is Private Pelayo reporting for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Junes from Palawan.
DWDD National News.
Asia's best pole vaulter E.J. Obiena continued his dominance in the region. He won a gold medal in the men's event at the 2025 ASEAN Athletics Championships in Sumy, South Korea. Obiena cleared 5.77 meters on his first attempt in a jump-off with China's Huang Bokai. Huang was not able to clear any of his attempts in the jump-off and settled for the silver.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And that concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rofh Suzon-Abay for AFP Community News, One AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi